This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions in this video and comments on this podcast do not reflect or represent the views and opinions on this podcast platform.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Well, it's March. So you know what that means? It is Women History Month. So first thing that I want to do is publicly acknowledge all the women on this platform. Thank you all for your contribution. I really appreciate it. And I know the Still a Man platform does as well. And of course, this acknowledgement includes past and present female attendees. But go ahead and give a shout out give the flowers to the ladies that have been here, staying in the paint, getting the job done. Tanya, thank you for your contribution. Pat,
you're welcome
for your participation, your contribution. Itama, thank you for your participation and your contribution. And Kiana, thank you for your participation and your contribution. And
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. All right. That being said, I want to start off by giving someone else flowers. I'm going to spotlight some women of society, and I am choosing to spotlight Jasmine Crockett. Thank you, Jasmine. She's been a member of the political world for 2 years, and she is an intricate voice, whereas the, let's say, women's movement is concerned. All right.
Can I spotlight somebody?
Yeah, sure.
I want to spotlight my friend Willie Pleasance, who received a Black Excellence Award from the state of Massachusetts on the 28th of February for her contribution to her community and her books that she's written on Black history. And she does a weekly radio segment on the Boston Public Community Radio.
Congratulations, Queen. Anybody else want to spotlight any women? Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and spotlight Candace Owens. Just because.
All right. Congratulations,
Happy
Candace
Women's
Owens.
History Month.
Thank you for your contributions. All right.
Well, then, if we're going to do that, I'd like to spotlight Ayanna Presley for representing Massachusetts in front of the whole country. Thank you, Ayanna.
Congratulations. Thank you, Ayanna. Anybody else? All right. We're going to move forward. All right. Now let's talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. It's called karma. Now, Kiana, would you do us the honor of pulling up the definition of karma, please?
All right. Hinduism and Buddhism, actions seen as bringing upon oneself inevitably results good or bad, either in this life or in a reincarnation. In Hinduism, one of means of reach Brahma. I don't know what that is. The cosmic principle according to which each person is rewarded or punished in one's incarnation according to that person's deeds in the previous incarnation. Someone's fate or destiny, the good or bad emanations felt to be generated by something or someone.
Okay. Is there more?
No, that was it.
All right. So, layman's terms, simply put, they basically believe that the type of energy that you put out into the universe affects you now and later, because they believe in reincarnation. So, what you do in this life affects the next life.
And some synonyms are the atmosphere, aura, fate, feelings, power, or vibrations. So that is synonymous with karma.
That's right. And energy. So be careful about the energy that you put out there. You guys know, and this time in today's society, we're fond of that. Tell people often, keep that same energy when dealing with me. So if they on that negative, then you want to know that going in. And if they on the positive, we want more of that. All right. All right. First question tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with the ladies. Kiana, we're gonna stay with you. Do you believe in karma?
Absolutely. Because it's almost like what is it? It's I can't remember what science principle. For every action there is a reaction. Yes, I believe in karma.
Tanya, do you
Ditto.
believe in karma?
Ditto, baby, ditto. Yes, I believe in karma.
Patsy, how about you?
Yes, I believe in karma. Comes around, goes around.
Itima?
Agree with the panel.
Okay. Amada, turn your phone up just a bit, please. Your volume. All right, so we are going to go to the guys. Robert, I'm gonna let you start with the guys. Do you believe in karma?
Yes, I do.
Care to elaborate?
I witnessed karma. I witnessed growing up, someone being so evil. Oh, focus. Oh, bifocals, thick glasses, blind boys, all of that. Almost everyone that done that to me and my brothers, their children came out wearing glasses.
Gregory, do you believe in karma?
Yes, because karmic law is the law of the universe. Every action is a reaction, like Iona said.
Sean, do you believe in karma?
I believe you do reap what you sow, what you put out there will come back to you. But to actually, as a Christian, I don't call it karma. I believe that God came and he died for our sins to where, although there are things that we may do because of our belief in being saved in Christ in him, we are some of those things don't come back on us.
Okay. All right. As I've stated in the past, I can count on Sean and others to give you a segue to the next question.
You reap what you sow.
Yes,
Dave.
yes. Yep. So, and that brings us to the next question. But before we move ahead, is there anybody else that would like to answer the question?
I believe in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a life for a life.
Okay. All right, Sean, here is the second question. Do you agree or disagree with these proverbs? What goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow.
Do I believe in those proverbs?
Yes.
Yes, I believe in them to an extent. And what I mean by that is, um, I also I'll say that I believe in those to an extent with this clause of I also believe in grace and mercy because there are some things that I put out there that God that I should be punished or rewarded for that he may hold back from me. It's his grace and his mercy.
I agree. I agree. Timmy, do you agree or disagree with these proverbs? What goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow.
What goes around comes around. And of course, everybody that's doing evil should know that their due is going to come back on them. It's going to come back around on them. It might not be that day or the next day, but somewhere down the line, something's going to happen to you and you going to be thinking it's something else, but it's going to be for what you did in your past that caught up to you, that you finally got your karma.
Okay. Gregory, do you agree or disagree with the proverbs? What goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow.
I agree 1,000%. Look at what's happening to the Democratic politicians. Now everything's a sham, a fake news. But when they was doing it, to that man, it was legit.
Okay. Robbie, do you agree or disagree with the proverbs? What goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow.
Yes, I do agree. I'm so sorry, excuse me. Um, I agree. And it's almost like the first question. I agree to that. So it's not going to be no change. I'm agreeing again. I believe you put evil out there. Evil comes to you um in many ways. It might not come exactly back to you. It could affect your friend or your family. And it could be something totally different than what you put out there. And if you put out good, I believe that you will be rewarded some way, somehow.
Okay. Let's go to the ladies. Itima, do you agree or disagree with the proverbs? What goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow.
Yes, I do. I agree with it. Just like Sean said, I agree with a lot of things he said.
Uh, let's go to Patsy.
Yes, I agree with those two proverbs. Um, but like Sean said, sometimes God shows His mercy, so that way some of the stuff we did put out there we have God's grace and mercy on some of the stuff that could have been coming back at us that we put out there.
Tanya, do you agree or disagree with the Proverbs? What comes around goes around. Well, excuse me, did I say it backwards? What goes around comes around. And you reap what you sow.
Yes, I do agree with that. I agree with what Sean said, and I agree with what Robert said. And I'm gonna put this to it. It's all about when you putting that karma out there, and based on what Sean said, about God's grace and mercy, he is reading your heart. Whatever your heart says about the karma out there, if you intentionally putting it out there to harm people, then you're gonna reap what you sow in a bad way. If it was something that was done inadvertently, and you sorry for it, and he extends his grace and mercy, you're gonna reap what you sow, but it may not be as bad as it could be. And when you put good karma out there, meaning that you are taking care of those that are less fortunate, you go living by God's words, his commandments to love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. Although for some people, when they don't even love themselves, they can't love their neighbors. So you have to do with that as you may. But I'm going to say this: God reads everybody's heart, and so He knows whatever people are putting out there, what their true intentions are for it, and that's what you're gonna reap from it. If you intending evil, you're gonna reap evil. If you intending good, you're gonna reap good.
And Duchess, do you agree or disagree with the Proverbs? What goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow.
Oh,
Yes, I do.
Okay. Um, we're gonna go to question number 3, and we're going to start with Kiana. Do you agree or disagree? Good things comes to those that wait.
Yeah, for the most part, I agree. Yes.
Patsy, what about you? Do you agree or disagree? Good things come to those that wait.
I believe that honestly, but I also believe that sometimes while you're waiting, you got to go out and um do stuff. It's like waiting on the Lord. You gotta do something in order to make things happen. So that way, um when it's time for that good thing to happen, you already did some of that work, that footwork to get those things, good things in return.
So Itzema, do you agree with this proverb? Good things come to those that wait.
Yes, I agree. I agree. But just like Patsy said, you have to put in work. Um, Sometimes you could, it is certain stuff that you want. You may put in a prayer. So, it maybe just do good things towards other people, help out, certain things that you do to be able to get some of your prayers answered.
Hmm.
I would say, who's to say that whatever, like Patrick was saying about getting and doing other things, who's to say what you done got into wasn't that good thing that happened to you? In other words, like say you went and started this job and the job was doing so good and you started enjoying it. That could be your reward. That could be that good thing that happened to you.
Well, that's what we're saying.
Tanya, how about you? Do you agree or disagree? Good things come to those that wait.
I agree with good things come to those that wait on the Lord. Because what the Lord has for you is good for you. That's to finish that statement. You got it?
Got it.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Robbie. Robbie, do you agree or disagree? Good things come to those that wait.
Yeah, I believe that good things come to those that wait. But also on the other hand, like Patsy was stating, you shouldn't just wait on the Lord to provide you with favors. Um in the meantime, while you waiting for him to move mountains, you should already be doing other things that can assist on that good thing coming towards you, or start a new good thing for yourself.
You're right. That's faith without works is dead. So
Right.
if I'm saying good things come to those that wait on the Lord, that includes putting the work in.
Mm-hmm.
So we agree.
Yes.
All right. Let's go to Mr. Lacey. Gregory, do you agree or disagree? Good things come to those that wait.
I'm not gonna say I agree or disagree because I believe time is a man-made concept, and opportunity goes to the daring. So you definitely need to go out there and try to get it. But patience is a virtue. It's a good thing to have patience. And sometimes God won't let you achieve stuff or reach stuff until he feels like you're ready.
Right.
Okay. Sean.
That was good, Gregory.
Yes, it was, honey. I'm 2 snaps over here.
Sean.
Thank you, yo.
Yes, I believe good things come to those who wait, as well as evil things comes to those who wait.
They can't wait for the good thing to come. They start doing evil things.
All right, we're going to go to question number 4. And we're going to go back to the ladies. And I'm going to start with Itima. Itima, are you with us?
I am.
Okay. Here's question 4. Is it possible to be the guiding light when you are lost in the dark?
Of course not. If you lost, how can you guide anybody if you lost in the dark? You can't see. You're blind. How you guiding anybody?
Duchess, what do you say? Is it possible to be the guiding light when you are lost in the dark?
Not. I mean, I get you could be a candle to somebody, but if you're aimlessly walking, then you have people aimlessly walk following you. So I don't think that that's a good thing. So I don't think you could be a good leader if you don't have a destination.
All right, Patsy, same question. Is it possible to be the guiding light when you are lost in the dark?
No, it's not possible. How could you lead me out of darkness if you're in the same darkness I am in? we could probably see a light at the end of the tunnel and try to walk together out there. But there's got to be somebody else that has more sense and more knowledge and more of a bright light in their spirit and living a little bit, well, a whole lot more better than someone who's lost in the darkness that has clarity. So only those have clarity can lead you into light.
Tanya, is it possible to be the guiding light when you are lost in the dark?
I'm gonna switch this all up and say yes, it is possible. Because you lost in the dark doesn't mean that you don't have a flicker of light that you can draw from to find your way out of the darkness. And it depends on what darkness am I lost in, because there's all different types of darkness. There's darkness of oppression. There's darkness of abuse. There's darkness of addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I could be a guiding light and something else and be lost in that dark. But as long as I got a flicker of a flame, I could still use that flicker to guide.
Okay, I get it.
And let me just be point blank. My flicker of flame is my spirit, because it's always with me.
All right. Timmy, is it possible to be the guiding light when you are lost in the dark?
I agree with Tanya said,
Mm-hmm.
because there is different darkness, but all you need, just like things to grow, all you need is a shimmer of light, and you're gonna have light to guide you, whether it guides you in the direction that you want to go, or guide you to a new direction which you didn't know that was your destiny.
Okay. Sean, is it possible to be the guiding light when you are lost in the dark?
Um, I like what Tanya said. I agree with the rest of the panel. And depending on your circumstances of how you've actually achieved being in the dark, were you once in the light and you have a hope of finding your way back to that light, and you can guide someone through their darkness. If that makes any sense.
Makes good sense. Mr. Lacey, same question. Is it possible to be the guiding light when you are lost in the dark?
Well, at first, there was darkness, right? So I believe in a Truman theory, and everybody's just acting. Nobody has the book of life and the rules to it and knows exactly what they're doing. Nobody knows all the answers. So you got to look at it from a perspective of direction. It's all about direction, what direction you want to go, even if you're moving through the darkness. Because once we created electricity, somebody can light up a way. You can follow that person, or you can try to find your own way to spark up a light and make your own direction and have what voices you're following, who's guiding you, like Uncle T was saying. So it's all about direction.
Robert, is it possible to be the guiding light when you are lost in the dark?
Yes, it's possible, because if one's inquiring about the light for whatever darkness it is, whatever type of darkness that it is, if they're inquiring about lighting up somebody with some information that can help not only the person that's inquiring about the light, but the person that's lost in the darkness, even if it's another person or if it's just their self. So I say it's possible. I say if you're inquiring about the light and you're eager to learn about something that you might not know about, then you might be able to light your whole head full of information and help someone else if it ain't just for yourself.
Well said, well said. All right, we're going to move on to question number 5. Ladies, we're going to start with you. All right, we're going to go to Patsy first. Patsy, let's do number 5. Is a lie still considered a selfish act, although it results in the betterment of others?
If you do a selfish act, can it better somebody else?
Is a lie still considered a selfish act, although it results in the betterment of others?
Okay. Yes, a lie um is a selfish act. And depends on why you're lying, just to hide maybe some information or to kind of say something. But that lie can also help them, the person that you're telling a lie to, because your lie may not be applicable to that person, but they could, or it can be applicable to them, and they use that lie to test out the waters of what you were trying to explain to them. So in actuality, they lie better than their lies.
Tanya, you ready?
I'm gonna try and be ready.
Is a lie still considered a selfish act, although it results in the betterment of others?
Now that is a deep, provoking question right there, Dave. Because a lie is a lie, even if
Right,
it's a white lie. Only the
right.
truth can set you free. So if you lying to a person, you being selfish. Either you are trying to protect yourself or you are trying to protect their feelings. And if you're trying to protect their feelings, you're not giving them the whole truth, and how it cannot better them. So I'm gonna have to say no on that. Yeah, that is a selfish act.
Timmy.
It's a good question, though.
Okay. Timmy,
Well,
lie still.
I'm on the fence with that because if you're lying to protect someone, then that's one thing. If you're lying to deceive someone, like Tanya said, in order to protect yourself, then that's another. But if you lie and your lie turns out, because we all know once one lie come out, then you got to make up another lie to cover up that lie, and
Mm-hmm.
make up another lie to cover up that lie. So I think if you're lying to protect someone in the benefit of the good, then I would call that a white lie, because if it's successful, then you can say, I told you that because I didn't want you to worry, and I had intuition that this was a good move, and it was a move that was going to benefit all of us, you know. So if it was in that case, then yeah, you know. But then you got to tell the truth, right? You know, once you reveal things, then you tell the truth.
Okay. Robert, is a lie still considered a selfish act, although it results in the betterment of others?
I'm gonna say right from the beginning, I'm gonna say it's selfish, and I'm gonna say, how could a lie truly be protection or either protecting me? Because I will only think that what can help me will be the truth. So I need truth all the time. Save the lies because it don't make me smile. You're gonna tell me I'm gonna live and you know I'm dying in 2 weeks. You could have told me the truth and I could have sucked up all you had to offer and give me while I was still going to be here on earth. So your lie is kind of selfish, even though you think you're protecting me and you're really not. Tell the truth all the time and you'll be a healer and a helper to all.
Very good,
But
Robert.
that's up to
Oh,
you too. Because if you feel like someone's lying to you, then you ain't gonna listen to that person. You gonna go somewhere else that you know that someone is looking out or is not gonna tell you a story that you don't want to hear. You want someone to tell you the truth, then you gonna go somewhere else if that person tells you a lie. And you shouldn't take their word for it anyways. You should always have three, four different people giving different, because everybody's not gonna have the actual truth. But if they all are in agreement and they all saying the same thing, it can't be a lie. It got to be true.
Gregory, what about you? What do you say?
Um, Ask the question again one more time. I just got thrown a little bit off.
Is a lie still considered a selfish act, although it results in the betterment of others?
Okay, yes, it's very selfish. You're like the bringer of false hope. Like Uncle Rob was saying, if we're in a burning house and you know it's no way out, I don't want you to tell me, oh, it's okay, we're gonna be able to get out of here. No, I want you to tell me, I don't think we're gonna be able to get out of here, because then it's gonna make you try harder to actually get out instead of believing I have some hope. We're gonna make it down the stairs, knowing that the stairs is gonna collapse. You get what I'm saying? So this is another reason why my generation voted for Trump. I hate to hit these people again, but the Democrats is always lying to us. You wanted a person like Trump to tell you the harsh truth to your face. We don't want a knife in the back. We want to see the knife coming.
uh,
Okay.
can I?
Sean,
Oh, go ahead. Let Sean answer.
Tanya, go ahead and give your review.
I was just gonna say that a lie is the tool of the enemy who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And that looks like what Trump
Mm-hmm.
is doing. Still stealing,
Mm-hmm.
killing, and destroying.
Tell them, Tanya. Tell
All
them.
right. Sean, same question.
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Is a lie still considered a selfish act, although it results in the betterment of others?
Yes, it is. That's actually what a lie is being selfish, no matter what the reason is morally wrong and is selfish. Like everyone else has said, you telling a lie for the gratification of for yourself, because what you're doing is portraying false hope on someone, thinking that you're doing them a good service, and it's not. You're actually doing them a disservice. A
Okay.
lie, a limit. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, a lie, because it's a lie, eliminates all the good that you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. How can you trust? How can you trust that person again?
Right.
All right, let's take this a step further, right? What if you're lying to keep a loved one out of a bad situation when you know all the people around them is lying in an attempt to bring them down, and the truth will not do? Sean?
One more time. What? I'm sorry. One more
So
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say you lost me. Can you repeat it again?
So if you are telling a lie to save a loved one from a fate that a bunch of other liars have band together to bring about their downfall, is it still a selfish act then?
Yes, it is. Because what ends up happening, because again, a lie in itself is already a selfish and deceitful thing. And so, although you told a lie, and in your mind you're thinking that you're saving someone because you're saving them from all others around them that lies, when it's all said and done, that person may have the outcome of thinking that everyone in their circle, including you, are nothing but liars to them.
Mm-hmm.
Patsy, what about you? What do you say?
I say, you gotta be the honest one with them, the more trustworthy person in that situation. When it's like, oh, that person's friends are lying, and especially if there's circle of friends or whatever that are no good, you could tell them the truth and be like, this is what's going on, this is what they're doing behind your back. And even if they don't believe the truth at that moment, eventually everything that's happening in that circle and the lies will come to the light, like everything in the dark. And that person, that loved one, will see you were the more trustworthy person, more truthful person that had the best interest at heart.
Okay. Tanya, what do you say? Is
I'm
it
gonna
still
I'm
okay?
gonna have I'm gonna have to agree with Patsy because that'll be like the blind leading the blind. If you telling a lie to come back the lies that the other people are telling, that's the blind leading the blind. You got to be the one with the sight and telling the truth to lead them out, lead them in the right direction.
Robert?
I'm going to say tell one lie, make it easy for you to tell me a second lie. From that point on, I don't look at you no other than to be a liar. So how could I trust you or respect you?
So let me make this clear. I just want to get the overall point of view. Basically, I want to get a collective view on this. So is it the synopsis that the board is saying, the panel is saying that a lie is a lie no matter what? Or all you guys in agreement with that?
A lie is a
Yes,
lie.
a lie is a lie.
Yes,
Yep,
sir.
Right.
And even if it benefits those around you, it's still a selfish act.
Mm-hmm.
right.
In
That's
a
what you
room
got.
full of Judases, be a Peter.
Really? Okay.
Hmm.
All right, Peter. So let's go with you, Gregory.
Hey, could I say this before you move on? Um, you tell me a lie the first time, it was beneficial for me. who's to say that it's going to be the same way the next time? So
Mm-hmm.
you can't really trust that lie. Just because it was um right for you the first time don't mean the second time they tell you a lie is going to be beneficial. So I just prefer the
Mm-hmm.
truth.
Right.
Can I add one
And
more
me
thing to
me
that?
personally, once like Rob said, once you tell me a lie, I look at you as a damn liar. You can't tell the damn truth, so you just goddamn liar.
Tanya?
Yeah, I was just going to add to what he said is that, like he said, if you tell one lie and it turns out that, it benefited him, that's how you get ran down drawn down the rabbit hole. You believe you listen to one lie and it turned out to be beneficial, then you listen to the next lie and listen to the next lie, and by the time you
Mm-hmm.
realize that you far gone, you too far gone to when it's the truth come at you. You can't believe the truth because you've been listening to the lies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is a
See,
good one.
the first lie that helped you, that
Hooked you.
benefited you, that was the hook. That was
Mm-hmm.
just the hook to hook you on. And then those other lies that don't have nothing to benefit you was all for that person that told you the first lie in the first place.
Because now you're juggling and you're in the circus. Clown activity.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we're gonna move on. Uh, we're gonna go to question 6. Gregory, what becomes of the person that gives so much of themselves and gets less in return?
It sounds exactly how you just said it. They're sucked dry. Energy gone. Gone.
Robert, what becomes of the person that gives so much of themselves and gets less in return?
They really don't have nothing to give. They ain't going to be able to help others because they can't even help themselves now.
Timmy, what becomes of the person that gives so much of themselves and get less in return?
They 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 back down. They bring that if you helping someone and they just taking and taking and reaping all the benefits and just suffering, then you are being taken advantage of. And these people that you are helping is just like Greg you said, sucking you dry until till like with MC Hammer, he helped everybody. Then when he was broke and he was going through financial problems, all the people that he helped, none of them was there.
Sean, what becomes of the person that gives so much of themselves and gets less in return?
A number of things. They can become burnt out, disheartened, um, feel like they've taken advantage of, and just run down.
Ladies, Patsy, what becomes of the person that gives so much of themselves and gets less in return?
They're very depleted
Mm.
with their energy um and like Sean said, run down. Unless you're doing stuff to replenish your own energy and giving yourself to yourself. Like myself, like I'll just say this, like me going out and get my nails done. That's to replenish my energy, my doing something good for myself. You can't always the person that always gives and gives and gives and doesn't receive anything from other people, they have to give themselves something to replenish their energy or replenish whatever they're giving out, because everything is a cycle. It's like a circle. It got to go round and round and round. And if you break that cycle of getting what's being put out, you're not gonna get anything back in. So you could continuously give to others, even if you have to give to yourself doing something little like getting your nails or your feet or just taking a walk and exercise, something to replenish that energy and to you always have to find some way to have that energy replace, even if you have to do it yourself, to replace your own energy, to give to you and ask God to put stuff in place so that way, it is replenished. So it's like you can't love somebody without loving yourself. So it's find a way to find that love for yourself so you can continue to love others. Yeah.
Yeah. What becomes of the person that gives so much of themselves and gets less in return?
Well, if they don't stay connected to the source, they can become worn out, beat down, callous, get a hardened heart, selfish. Hopefully, they stand connected to the source so that as they giving out, they're constantly being replenished. I'm assuming everybody on the cast know who the source is.
God.
God.
Let me give y'all some inspiration, some uplifting. All right. In observance of Women's History Month, let's plug some female t-shirts. All right. So in Emporium Plus, we are offering these designs, these t-shirts, these slogans, and they are called Support Our Sisters. The brand is SOS, Support Our Sisters. She Power, that's under Support Our Sisters as well. And then we have Such a Effing Lady, that is by Support Our Sisters as well. We also have I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. That is by Adapt the Parish Ladies First. And Robert, where can they find these t-shirts?
People, on account of not being selfish, more selfless, punch in emporiumplus.org, where you will find fashions of Adapto Parish Ladies First, U-Serum, Still a Man, SOS Support Our Sisters, Adapto Parish Ladies First, and also you can get some merch from emporiumplus.org. People, I also advise you to go ahead, click the thumbs up button or the like button. That'll help us stay in rhythm. Also, subscribe if you haven't or tell a friend. We highly appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, tonight's discussion topic is karma. And I am talking about karma, that is spelled Karma. All right. So before we go on to the seventh question, is there anybody that did not get a chance to answer the sixth question?
Me.
All right. Me is Kiana. Kiana, what becomes of the person that gives so much of themselves and gets less in return?
They get burnt out. They get depleted because nobody's pouring into them. And sometimes they can become, I guess, maybe jaded and not want to give to people.
Oh, huh? All right, Kiana, we're going to stay with you. Question 7. Why do bad things happen to good people?
Um, why not? Nobody's exempt from things happening, good or bad.
Okay. Patsy, what do you say? Why do bad things happen to good people?
Um, and that's just life. Everybody deals with good and bad things, whether you're a good person or a bad person. Um, I think sometimes it's just to teach you a lesson and help strengthen you to overcome those obstacles or bad things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad person or you've done something wrong. It's just probably God's way of saying, like, look, let me just test you a little bit. Let me bring you forward, bring you through this, so the next time there's a situation or somebody else goes through that same bad situation, you could say, well, I can understand where you're coming from, and it's just a form of communication of helping that person through the same situation you've done. It's probably to help teach you to have empathy and um be able to bring somebody out the same situation and show support in their struggle because you had that same struggle they're going through later on after you done went through that situation.
Tanya, why do bad things happen to good people?
It's an opportunity for God to show up and show out and use you as a vessel to pour into someone else, like Patsy said, who's gone through that same type or similar type of situation, who may not know him, but from your testimony will come to accept him and know him.
Loving it. Timmy, same question. Why do bad things happen to good people?
The good people always die. That's just that's just I don't actually believe that. I think sometimes, you be at the wrong spot at the wrong time. People, and here's the thing too. People don't pick up on signs. Again, I always say signs. There be red flags before things jump off. People just don't pay those. They just, I saw them doing this or doing that, and I saw them. I didn't think nothing of it because they look normal. So it's just that people just don't, pick up on the signs. There's always signs.
Gregory, Why do bad things happen to good people?
Yeah, it's not a nice guys always finish last type thing. It's just a part of your journey, and sometimes people's stories are written that way so you can learn from them. Like they were saying, it's always a lesson in pain, in suffering. It's always a lesson in some type of striving so you can come back out on top.
Okay, let's go to Itama next. Itama, you with us?
I am.
All right. So the question is, why do bad things happen to good people?
Mm. I mean, it's life, but sometimes, good people do things too, and then things come back, you know. So
Robert, why
Uh,
do
go on.
why do bad things happen to good people?
I asked myself that many years ago, and that's a good question. Then I had to write it off to, you know, how is it really affecting me? I think that all lays on, I would call it trials and tribulations. We sometimes experience bad, although we're good people, to strengthen us. I guess strengthen our faith, strengthen our trust for other things that's yet to come that we don't even know that's coming on a wave that might be too overwhelming because it's good for us, or vice versa, that it's going to be way worse.
Is you channeling in the spirit tonight?
Mm.
Uh, Sean, I didn't forget
Yep.
about you. Why do bad things happen to good people?
Because we live in a world that's evil and life is not fair. Um, because sometimes people that we deem as good people, sometimes, as Timmy said, can just be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And just life's circumstances, things happen.
Hmm.
Itama, this is a good one. Everyone turn your mic on, get ready, and get your thoughts, collect your thoughts. This is a good one. This is a follow-up to the last one. Question 8. Why does it take so long for the wicked fruit to ripen? Let me give it to you one more time. Why does it take so long for the wicked fruit, the bitter wicked fruit to ripen, I should say? You want me to give it to you again? Let me give it to you one more time.
no, you don't have to give it to me. It just, I mean, for some reason, the wicked, it like they last for a long time. It takes a long, like they just need to be. It needs to be around because it just everything has like a you know,
Balance.
it's a exactly. So that's it.
Patsy, why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked to ripen?
Because it's wicked. And if you don't change your ways about from being deceitful or whatever it is that's making you wicked, and you don't see the fault of your ways, then the sun can't penetrate that wickedness because you got a hard shell to penetrate. So therefore, God can't help you if you're not willing to open up your heart to let that fruit grow.
Duchess, why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked to ripen?
Repeat that. Why does it take so long?
Why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked to ripen?
I don't understand the question.
Oh.
Why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked person to ripen? In other words, why does it take so long for the wicked to receive their just due?
Oh, because they're like roaches. They'll be around forever and they don't die. So
Oh, we
And good
roaches,
way to
we
put
don't
it.
die, we multiply.
Tanya, why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked to ripen?
Because during that late time, is God extending his grace and mercy upon them to give them an opportunity to change their wicked ways. And when he sees that that time is not going to come, then it's done in his time. Everything is done in God's timing. The delay of them getting their just due, as you say, is God giving them the opportunity to change their wicked ways. That's him extending his mercy upon them. But if they keep going down that same path, they see that they're stiff-necked people, then they got to be punished.
Great answer.
that was good, Tanya.
Uh-huh.
All right. Timmy, same question. Why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked to ripen?
I'm gonna use the movie Belly as a as a analogy. You see, when all the wicked things that Buns was doing, right, and it caught up to him, right, and then he has to face his wickedness when the devil comes and want him to destroy, to kill for him. And this is gonna, set him free and all that. But when he went to do it, he couldn't do it, and the pastor started talking to him and hitting him with knowledge that he couldn't see, that Nas was telling him from the start, right? And then you see when he had to go and do the job for the devil, he sat down with Nas and said, "Yeah, you was right all along. You was right. We was headed down the path of destruction. We couldn't see, but you saw it." And then, once the preacher started, giving him knowledge of self, what did he do? He reached, grabbed the gun out of his hand. He told that they were going to bum rush him, right? He said, "Don't nobody touch him," because he knew at this time, that the time that he was in there talking to him, that he had him. He had him. And so those guys that was coming in, the security that was coming in, was gonna make things worse. But he already had them under control. He probably would have converted and started shooting, right? But because he de-escalated it and told he had it under control, so he was able to reach him. And so I think that's what that is at times. You be blinded by things that you've been through and not knowing that you were heading down that road of self destruction until someone opens your eyes to see that you were doing wrong. You know you're doing wrong, but you can't see
Robert, why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked to ripen?
Maybe some people like to be sour and bitter. That's a high for some. And then
it.
you
Real.
got, the people that like to be sweet and kind. That's a high for them. So I'm gonna say maybe it's taking long because they're here by design in our world to keep the good on their toes, to remind us not to take everything for granted.
Okay. Gregory, same question. Why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked to ripen?
Um, Satan fell to earth, right? First, before he fell to hell. And the fall of humanity brought us to our beastly ways, right? So you got that type of stuff going on, and I don't believe that these wicked people aren't tormented by God. Anytime you do something wicked, it follows you. Look at the serial killers. Why you think they remember so many of their victims? Because they're probably seeing these people in their goddamn dreams, and God is allowing them to be tortured throughout their life before they actually get their karma.
Sean, why does it take so long for the bitter fruit of the wicked to ripen?
Sister Tanya said it best, but I'll add on to what she said, staying in that same realm. What we deem as taking too long might not be long at all, because why it seems like they're prospering with all the wickedness that they're doing, if they don't change their ways, it's the because at the end of the day, let me say it this way: at the end of the day, because I'm piggybacking off of what Tanya said, and we're gonna keep it in our Christian belief, biblical, the whole nine. It's the end game that's the actual reward of it all. And so, if they continue to stay wicked, and as they're seems like they're wicked, and although they're prospering, they don't change their ways. It's the end results that will end up being their outcome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the ninth question. Patsy,
Yep.
we're going to go to question 9. Question 9. If you accept stolen goods, does that make you a thief? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as the actual thief?
Yeah, it makes you a thief if you're stealing. Regardless of the intention, like if you didn't have the money, maybe you talk to the manager, be like, whoever's running the store, and work something out instead of just taking. And you don't have to say it in front of a bunch of people because you might need something so simple, but it's a necessity item. But you talk to the person and be like, look it, I'm short this money. It's something, you know, and you work it out. You just don't take it. Or better budget your money better instead of alluding to stealing. And yes, you should. If you do steal, yes, you should um pay the same price because it's basically the Same crime as a regular shoplifter does.
Yana, you with us?
Yes.
If you accept stolen goods, does that make you a thief? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as the actual thief?
Do I know that they're stolen goods?
If you accept stolen goods,
Again, do I know that they're stolen goods? If you give me a gift, I don't know where you got that gift. I mean, but if you tell me you got this hot, yeah, I guess I'm the same as you. Should I reap what you sow? If we're being honest, no, I don't think so, but more likely than not, you will.
Tanya, if you accept stolen goods, does that make you a thief? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as the actual thief?
That's a tough question. That doesn't make me a thief. I didn't steal the goods, but I accepted the goods. And so, does that make me guilty? That makes me guilty of accepting the stolen goods. And I don't know if I should suffer the same fate. That's up to God. I can't make that decision. That has to be his choice. What he decides.
Robin, if you accept stolen goods, does that make you a thief? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as the actual thief?
Yeah, on one hand, I can say it makes me a thief. And on the other hand, I can say I was being polite. I didn't want to turn down the gift.
Okay. Timmy, if you accept stolen goods, does that make you a thief? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as the actual thief?
No, I don't think that makes you thief. Black market has been going on since the damn time came into existence. So I look at that as black marketing. You know, they don't win. You didn't go in the store and stole it. Somebody else went in there and stole it, and you just buy it cheap. You know, so don't you know that's how a lot of niggas in the project got their name brand Sassoons and Jordans and shit. They didn't go to the store. Them people who had people boosters.
Huh? Gregory, if you accept stolen goods, does that make you a thief? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as the actual thief?
Once again, there is no book to this. Who wrote these rules? There was a time when we all traded goods for goods, which means there was no rich and poor. There was just people that was actually giving each other stuff before somebody decided they was rich. Then you had to have a Robin Hood who had to steal from the rich and give to the poor because this rich person already done decided I'm gonna take everything from everybody else. I don't want nobody to have nothing. It's a pyramid scheme. So you shouldn't feel bad about anything. Somebody wrote that down. You don't have to follow their rules. Don't feel bad about getting something from the booster. Don't feel bad about getting gold
Yeah.
from Robin Hood.
If
Sean,
it wasn't for the booster or Robin Hood, you wouldn't have those things. You'd be without.
Sean, if you accept stolen goods, does that make you a thief? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as the actual thief?
If I receive stolen goods knowingly or unknowingly, and then finding out that the goods were stolen, and I don't do anything to rectify that, yes, that makes me a thief.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on
Now,
question.
the
Hold
one
on,
thing,
hold on. What
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
paying for it? If you pay
right?
for it, is that rectifying it, Sean? Or does that
No,
still make you a
no.
thief?
It
You
makes
paid
you
for
a
the
thief
thief's work.
because you paying it to the thief, to the person that stole it. And that's property that belongs to someone else. And so
Yeah, that's
to
true.
rectify,
You
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 need
would
to
give it
go and
back.
return it to where
Yes,
it
and
was
give it back to them.
wronged from.
Right, and go get your money from the damn thief if you can find him.
Because that's
No,
the
you
same
had to
thing,
pay
Timmy.
him for his services.
I'm gonna speak to you about the black market, Timmy. You spoke about the black market, this and the other. The black market is a legal entity. I mean, a legal entity to
It is.
where,
It's illegal, but
but listen to the answer that you
they're not
gave. You gave
stopping
that it
it.
was okay,
It's
but it's illegal. But you say that it's okay.
yeah. If you can't afford the stuff that's in the store, the expensive stuff, you get the black market stuff.
But
No,
that's
black market
illegal.
ain't
So
that. You
that's
talking
that.
about
Yeah, that's
Etsy
not
or
what that
something.
is. Right. That's not what black market is.
You talking about
Okay,
Alibaba.
but
Black
okay,
black marketing
right?
is.
Dapper
Mhm.
Dan, he designed the majority of all the rappers that came out in the 80s. He designed all the KRS Assault Peppers. He designed all their clothing, right? And his clothing, he was doing, knockoffs. He was so good
He
as
was
as
boosting.
seamstress that he was making clothes like Gucci and all those things. He was making this stuff look exactly like that clothes. And those people go out there into the public with it, and everybody, yo, that's Gucci, yeah. Where you get that from? Dapper Dan, he made it for me. And everybody's going there to get stuff made by him. But
He was
then,
counterfeiting.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's not the black
Yeah,
market.
the
Right,
black
but
market is
that's
selling
not.
organs and little kids and shit, Uncle T.
So let me be clear about this, just for sake of time. So what Sean is, he's trying to show you the error of your thoughts, so to speak. You said
Yeah.
illegal is okay. It's not okay in any situation. And the black
oh,
market,
we
not the,
know that.
let
We
me
know
finish.
that it ain't
Black
okay.
market is not the same as bootleg. Bootlegging is imitation.
They copying copyrights.
Yeah, but
Black
that's not the
market's
same.
doing the same thing. They
No,
No,
it's
copying
not the same.
copyrights.
It's not the same. It's two
They
different things.
copyright infringement. That's what they
No,
doing.
black market, Timmy, is when you buying organs and stuff like that.
Yeah, black market is way deeper than you thinking.
Yeah.
Black market is illegal, period. They're selling
Buying
illegal
babies and
goods.
everything.
It's illegal goods. It's illegal activity. That's what it is. That's what it amounts to. All right, let's move on to number 10, because that segues into number 10. And we're going to stay with Timmy. All right. If you take a life in the attempt to save your own, does that make you a murderer? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as someone that premeditates murder?
It's survival of the fittest when it comes to something like that. If you willing to survive, then no one has to be murdered. I can see if someone was injured and they was on their way last breath, then you do like that movie Airplane where they got stuck up in the Antarctica. The plane went down and they started eating people. Then in that case there, that was survival. Uh, when it comes to anything else outside that I think that's you got to use your judgment, and if something in your gut's telling you that something ain't right, you listen. Don't argue or go against what your gut feeling is telling you because your gut don't lie to you.
Okay. All right, Gregory, we're going to come to you. If you take a life in an attempt to protect your own, does it make you a murderer? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as those that premeditate murder?
I think in that situation, God would know your heart, and Tupac said it best. I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Okay. Robert, same question. If you take a life in an attempt to protect your own, does that make you a murderer? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as those that premeditate murder?
It's water.
It would make me a murderer that was trying to fight for his life. Should I suffer the same fate as a murderer that just go out there and kill for the high or the fun of it? That's where I think God comes with mercy and grace, hopefully on me, because I try to stay here on his earth to get something done that he hasn't seen yet done. And I was only trying to survive.
Okay. Sean, if you take a life in an attempt to protect your own, does that make you a murderer? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as those that premeditate murder?
Um, According to my belief, thou shalt not kill. If one does that, then that is what one would be, a murderer. Now, should I suffer the same fate that by killing someone by accident, that someone killed, that premeditated their killing, um, by the laws of the land?
Mm-hmm.
However, the judicial system works in that, because it's never a clear cut dry. I have to prove that I was protecting myself, that it was self defense. There will be a charge that requires me to pay the price for taking someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
So whether I'm stuck with that label as murder or not in the legal system, I don't know. But for what I believe, taking a life, that's killing, that's murder.
Someone
Patsy.
told me, Sean, that if you did a murder by accident, you prayed to God, asked him for forgiveness, and what your sentence would be most likely God's forgiveness.
Huh? Somebody told you what?
I, Someone told me that if you commit a murder and you pray to God for forgiveness, and when you go in front of the jury and you show your sorrowness, your you show that you are apologetic for your action, the judge might give you a lighter sentence. That could be God's forgiveness, or they say that's God's working to your forgiveness. by giving you a lighter sentence or whatever.
Now that God's forgiven you for that will have nothing to do with man's decision or outcome of your situation.
Yeah, that's judicial.
That
God will know your
when
heart. If
God,
you killed him and you didn't have to, he'll know you did
yeah,
it.
yeah, God's forgiveness has nothing to do. God's forgiveness of you has nothing to do with another person or another mankind's actions towards you.
All right, Patsy, let's go on to question number 10 for you. If you take a life in an attempt to save your own, does that make you a murderer? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as those that premeditate murder?
Um, if I was committed a murder with a self-defense, trying to defend myself, um, as a as opposed to being premeditated, um, yes, there's consequences, but my consequence will be lighter than someone who premeditated it because I did not intend to kill somebody. They did something and to threaten my life, so I had to defend myself. Um, yes, I might have some time to serve, but it's not going to be as severe as someone who um premeditated murder, and it's like murder one or two when mine would be like a manslaughter case because I did not intend to kill.
Huh?
And God knows my heart. If I didn't intend it, God's punishment is different than man's punishment.
All right, Tanya, question 10. If you take a life in an attempt to protect your own, does that make you a murderer? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as those that premeditate murder?
Well, what I'm going to say to that, since some people were talking about biblically, what I read in my Bible is that if a man committed murder premeditatedly, I mean purposely, he was to be stoned to death. If he pre, if he committed murder in self-protection, he was to be set aside, to put away from people or on a particular island for a certain amount of time. And like Patsy said, God's punishment is punishment and forgiveness is different from men's. Excuse me. Yeah. So no, I don't think that. I think that God knows my heart, like Patsy said, and his judgment is going to be the just judgment.
Shiana, you still with us? Duchess, still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. If you take a life in an attempt to protect your own, does that make you a murderer? And if so, should you suffer the same fate as those that premeditate murder?
I mean, murder is murder. It doesn't matter the level. Do I feel like the person should have the same faith as someone who premeditated? I don't believe so because snap judgments are made in an instant. Someone's long term goal to do something nefarious is not on the same, I would think, wavelength or
Level.
level to So I would think that they would be on different angles of punishment.
Patsy, what's the time?
8:59.
Yes.
8:59. All right, we got time for the last two. All right, I'm gonna hit y'all with a number 11. Kiana, I'm gonna stay with you. Question 11. Question 11. What becomes of those that relentlessly pursue and worship the almighty dollar?
I mean, that means you trample over people, you have no morals, you're morally bankrupt. So I believe you're going to hell.
Patsy, what becomes of those that relentlessly pursue and worship the almighty dollar?
The almighty dog?
Dollar.
God?
Dollar.
Oh, the dollar?
Yep.
Hey, you live by the dollar, you die by the dollar. And if you're not really being faithful to God instead of money, hey, like we've been saying all night, God knows your heart, so he's gonna treat you the way that you treat him and using him in vain. So
Huh?
you see, do justice by God.
Huh?
That's my
Tanya?
thought.
Tanya, you still with us?
Oh yeah, say the question again. I'm sorry.
No worries. What becomes of those that relentlessly pursue and worship the almighty dollar?
You can't serve two masters. You love one and hate the other. So if you love money at all costs, you hate God.
Okay.
So that should tell you where you're going, where you're going to end up.
Okay. Timmy, same question. What becomes of those that relentlessly pursue and worship the almighty dollar?
Root to all evil.
Okay, Itzma, you trying to answer this? Let me say it again and then say it louder so people can hear you. What becomes of those that relentlessly pursue and worship the almighty dollar?
She said the root to evil. That means the love of money is the root to all evil.
Root to all evil. That's it.
Okay. Timmy, same question. All right. Look, Gregory, same question. What becomes of those that relentlessly pursue and worship the almighty dollar?
I think it's funny that we got these sayings. What becomes of a fool? A fool and his gold, or the man that gains the riches of the earth but loses his soul. You get what I'm saying? It's all a satanic system, anyways. Money's placed here like that. Like I said before earlier, we used to exchange goods for goods because everybody had a little bit of everything. So when you got the man that wants to chase the riches, it's going down the evil pathway, like everybody was saying. It's root to all evil.
Okay. Robert, what becomes of the person that relentlessly pursues and worships the almighty dollar?
You end up in a abysmal state of being. Therefore, you wind up in the abyss.
Okay. Sean, what becomes of those that relentlessly pursue and worship the almighty dollar?
excuse me, they'll always be chasing and will never get enough.
Okay. All right, hold tight, everybody. We're gonna come to the last question. All right, Ichima, you still with us? Ichima? Patsy, you still with us?
Yes.
All right, this is the last question. If I choose not to forgive those that hate me, am I perpetuating said hate? And should I suffer the same fate of my hater?
In the Bible says to forgive. If I'm to ask God for forgiveness, I should be forgiving everyone, whether they're enemies or friends, family. So, and it's really not about forgiving your haters, and it's not going to benefit them to forgive you, but it's going to benefit you in the long run. Because those haters are not going to care whether or not you forgive them or not. And should you suffer? You make your own suffering when you don't forgive. So, yeah, everybody has different suffering for non-forgiveness. So, each his own.
All right, Ichima, turn your mic on. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, last question of the night. If I choose not to forgive those that hate me, am I perpetuating said hate? And should I suffer the same fate as my hater?
You're gonna, by not forgiving, because you're gonna eat yourself up with the same, hate that you're carrying for that person instead of just letting go. So the smartest thing is just letting go. You know what I mean? Forgiving and moving on, even if you don't have to deal with the person again, but just letting go, because if you don't, it's going to eat you up.
Well said, well said. Kiana, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, last question of the night. If I choose not to forgive those that hate me, am I perpetuating said hate? And should I suffer the same fate as my hater?
I care who hates me. I don't give a damn. That's their problem, not mine.
Okay.
So I don't suffer no fate that they fate. Their hate is their hate. That got nothing to do with me. You'll meet your maker.
Okay. Timmy, same question. If I choose not to forgive those that hate me, am I perpetuating said hate? And should I suffer the same fate as my hater?
I don't care nothing about none of that because I know who I am, and you got a problem, that's your problem. Because I could tell you how I feel, and that's that. If you take it personal with me just telling my feelings, then hey, that's on you. You got the problem. I ain't worried about nothing that you worried about. That's your problem.
Yeah. All right, Robert. If I choose not to forgive those that hate me, am I perpetuating said hate? And if so, should I suffer the same fate as my hater?
How could I forgive something I'm surely not entertaining? To suffer any fate of what the hater is doing, the haters should be asking for forgiveness for hating on me. So his suffering is on him.
Gregory, same question.
In a world of peace, like I was saying earlier, and the proof is in the pudding. You can look around at the archaeology and all these people that dug up stuff. We used to trade goods for goods. So that hate stuff was never a part of a melanated, carbonated person at all, because that's coming from archaic people from the Caucasus Mountains. They was always fighting. They was always at war. They always hated somebody. Who taught you to hate? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate your hair? In the words of Malcolm X. That's something that we didn't have as in our DNA, in our script, in our buildup. That wasn't a part of us. We were good people. So for me to say I forgive you for something that shouldn't have ever happened in the beginning is crazy. Why would I forgive you for anything? Fuck off and fuck you.
It was the Hattons and the damn McCoys that started that shit. Hate me.
Tanya, if I choose not to forgive those that hate me, am I perpetuating said hate? And if so, should I suffer the same fate as those that hate me?
Well, this is what I'm going to say to that. How can I not forgive those that hate me when God forgave us? We were sinners. And so us being sinners was saying that we didn't want to have a relationship with him and that we hated him. And he said to love those that persecute you. And so I'm not going to suffer their fate, because I'm going to be an example as Jesus was.
Huh? All right, Sean, you're going to
Yes,
take us
sir.
home? You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. If I choose not to forgive those that hate me, am I perpetuating said hate? And if so, should I suffer the same fate as those that hate me?
Well, I'm not perpetuating the same hate, but I will suffer the same consequences as far as my father is concerned, because I did not forgive them for doing something against me.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Still a Man podcast. Thank you. Let go, let God.